Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Today's story is the kind of betrayal that changes how you trust people permanently. Because imagine opening your home to your struggling best friend during the worst moment of her life, letting her sleep in your guest room, buying groceries for her, comforting her while she cries about heartbreak. Meanwhile, behind your back, she's secretly sleeping with your fiancé inside your own apartment. Yeah, that is today's nightmare. And honestly, the messages these two sent each other made my jaw hit the floor. So, our narrator is a 29-year-old woman named Rachel. Rachel lived in Chicago, worked in marketing, loved stability, and according to her, she genuinely believed she had her life figured out finally. Steady career, beautiful apartment downtown, healthy relationship, upcoming wedding, the whole thing. Now, Rachel also had one person she trusted more than almost anyone, her best friend Jenna. And when I say best friend, I mean real history, middle school sleepovers, college breakdowns, family vacations together. The type of friendship where people assume you'll grow old together automatically. Important detail V, very important. Because betrayal only hurts this badly once deep trust already exists. Now, Rachel also got engaged about a year earlier to a man named Tyler. And honestly, at first Tyler sounded perfect, charming, funny, close with Rachel's family. Even Jenna adored him initially, always joking they were couple goals. She helped Rachel choose engagement photos, went wedding dress shopping, talked constantly about planning the bachelorette trip. Normal best friend behavior, at least externally. Then Jenna's life completely collapsed within a few months. First, she lost her job unexpectedly after layoffs. Then her boyfriend dumped her almost immediately afterward, and according to Rachel, Jenna spiraled hard emotionally after that, crying every night, talking about panic attacks, struggling paying rent. Eventually, her landlord threatened eviction. Now, honestly, most people would help someone they loved in that situation. And Rachel definitely did, without hesitation. She told Jenna she could stay temporarily in the apartment Rachel shared with Tyler. No rent initially, no pressure. Just support until she recovered emotionally and financially, and according to Rachel. Tyler acted incredibly supportive too, actually enthusiastic. He kept saying things like, "She's family, we should help her. She'd do the same for us." Again, important detail, because manipulative people often hide behind kindness beautifully. Now, for the first few weeks, everything genuinely seemed normal. A little crowded, maybe, but fine. Jenna stayed in the guest room, cooked dinner sometimes, helped clean, even watched movies with Rachel and Tyler at night occasionally. Honestly, Rachel later admitted those first weeks became painful remembering afterward because she kept wondering, when exactly did the lying start? Was it already happening then? Or did it begin later inside the apartment? And trust me, once Rachel finally learned the truth, the timeline became way more horrifying than she expected. At first, the strange behavior felt tiny enough to ignore. That is honestly how betrayal usually starts, not dramatic movie moments. Little uncomfortable details your brain keeps trying rationalizing away. Like Jenna suddenly caring way more about her appearance inside the apartment. Full makeup just to stay home, tiny, dresses around the kitchen late at night, perfume constantly. Meanwhile, Rachel wore oversized hoodies surviving work stress normally. Then Tyler started acting weird too, not cold exactly, almost overly helpful toward Jenna specifically. If Jenna forgot groceries, Tyler offered buying them immediately. If Rachel complained about dishes or boundaries, Tyler defended Jenna instantly. "She's going through enough already. Don't make her feel worse." Stuff like that. And honestly, Rachel felt guilty even noticing it. Because when somebody struggles emotionally, questioning their behavior makes you feel cruel somehow. Then came the first moment Rachel's stomach genuinely dropped. One Friday night, Rachel returned home early after dinner plans with co-workers got cancelled unexpectedly. Now remember, neither Tyler nor Jenna expected her home. Important detail, very important. The apartment felt strange instantly. Lights low, music playing softly, wine glasses sitting on the coffee table, and somewhere deeper in the apartment, Rachel heard Jenna laughing. Not normal laughing either. Flirting laughing. You know exactly the kind I mean. Then Tyler laughed too. Question. Eee. Comfortably, Rachel walked toward the living room slowly, still holding her purse. And there they were. Tyler and Jenna sitting together on the couch sharing a blanket. A blanket. Now technically, Nothing openly inappropriate happened. No kissing, no obvious touching, but honestly, people recognize intimacy energy immediately. And according to Rachel, both of them reacted weirdly fast once they saw her. Jenna jumped backward slightly. Tyler stood up instantly. The atmosphere shifted from cozy to awkward panic in half a second. Huge red flag. Then Tyler smiled too quickly. "Oh, you're home already." Already. Interesting wording for someone greeting his fiancée inside her own apartment. Meanwhile, Jenna grabbed her wine glass nervously. "We were just watching a movie." Except the television menu screen sat frozen silently. No movie playing whatsoever. Boom, but important. Rachel later admitted that exact moment replayed inside her head for months afterward, because deep down, something already felt wrong emotionally. Then she noticed another detail. Jenna wore Rachel's favorite silk robe, the expensive one Rachel specifically bought her, self. And honestly, that tiny thing irritated her more than expected. Not because of the robe itself, because boundaries already felt blurry somehow. Then Tyler instantly became weirdly defensive before Rachel even accused anyone. "We didn't think you'd be back this early." Again, interesting wording. As if Rachel interrupted something private accidentally. Rachel forced herself staying calm though, because honestly, nobody wants suspecting their fiancé and best friend simultaneously. Your brain fights that possibility aggressively, so she ignored the discomfort mostly, at least temporarily. But afterward, the weird moments multiplied constantly. Late night whispering from the kitchen, inside jokes stopping abruptly once Rachel entered rooms, Tyler suddenly locking his phone screen downward constantly. Even physical behavior changed, tiny touches lingering too long, long eye contact, shared glances, and the word part. Rachel kept convincing herself she sounded paranoid. Exactly what manipulators depend on emotionally. The self-doubt became the worst part honestly, because once suspicion enters your brain, every normal interaction suddenly feels loaded, emotionally. Rachel started questioning herself constantly. Am I insecure? Am I imagining this? Am I becoming controlling? And honestly, that mental spiral exhausted her more than actual evidence initially. Meanwhile, Tyler and Jenna kept acting normal enough publicly to make Rachel feel crazy privately. Classic manipulation environment. Then came another strange moment that really stuck with her. One Sunday morning, Rachel woke up earlier than usual and walked into the kitchen quietly. And according to her, the second Tyler and Jenna saw her, they physically separated from each other instinctively. Tiny movement, but obvious. Tyler moved away from the counter immediately. Jenna stepped backward too fast. People do not react like that unless tension already exists. Then Tyler smiled awkwardly. "We were just making coffee." Again. Nobody accused anybody yet. Still defensive automatically. Huge sign. Then Rachel noticed Tyler wearing the sweatshirt Jenna borrowed earlier that week. Not weird alone, maybe. Except Jenna hugged the sleeves against her face, joking. "It smells like him now." Boom. That sentence. Rachel said hearing it made her stomach twist immediately. Dietly. Because suddenly the flirting stopped feeling subtle. Now it felt personal. Then things got worse emotionally. Rachel noticed Jenna started copying little habits accidentally, laughing at Tyler's jokes too hard, using phrases he used constantly, even sitting beside him at dinner automatically before realizing Rachel existed there too. And honestly, people having affairs always think they hide chemistry better than they actually do. Then came the phone behavior. Oh my god, the phone behavior. Tyler suddenly carried his phone everywhere: bathroom, shower area, laundry room. Meanwhile, Jenna started smiling at notifications constantly, then hiding her screen quickly afterward. At one point, Rachel walked behind Jenna unexpectedly and briefly saw Tyler's name covered in heart emojis. Now, technically, friends text. Sure, but your intuition notices emotional patterns before logic catches up sometimes. Then Rachel made a mistake emotionally. She confronted Tyler softly one night, not accusing, just honest discomfort. And honestly, his reaction changed everything psychologically, because instead of reassuring her calmly, Tyler immediately got irritated, defensive, almost angry. "You seriously think I'd cheat on you with Jenna?" Interesting. Rachel never actually said cheating directly, yet Tyler jumped there instantly himself. Massive red flag. Then he added another line that genuinely hurt Rachel. "You're acting paranoid lately." Paranoid. There it was. The exact word manipulative people love using once suspicion gets close to truth. And according to Rachel, That conversation shattered her confidence completely for a few days. Because once somebody you love calls you irrational, you start distrusting your own instincts emotionally. Meanwhile, Tyler became extra affectionate afterward. Flowers, compliments, random kisses, classic guilt management behavior, honestly. And for a little while, Rachel almost believed herself wrong. Almost, until the night she accidentally saw Jenna coming out of Tyler and Rachel's bedroom while Rachel was supposedly working late. And trust me, that moment changed everything instantly. Rachel was never supposed to be home that early. Important detail, very important. She had a client dinner scheduled downtown after work. But halfway through the afternoon, the entire thing got cancelled unexpectedly because one executive became sick. So Rachel drove home planning nothing more dramatic than changing clothes and ordering takeout. Instead, she walked directly into emotional destruction. The apartment looked quiet when she unlocked the door. No television, no music, just silence. Then she heard movement down the hallway. And according to Rachel, the second she looked up, Jenna stepped out of Rachel and Tyler's bedroom. Boom! There it was. Reality. Now honestly, Rachel said her brain completely froze for a second. Because seeing somebody exit your bedroom unexpectedly hits differently emotionally, especially somebody already tangled inside your suspicions. Then Jenna saw Rachel standing there and immediately panicked. Actual visible panic. She dropped her phone, started talking too fast. Oh my god, you're home already? Already again. Interesting wording keeps appearing somehow. Rachel stared silently, then asked the obvious question. What were you doing in my room? Now here is the important part. Jenna answered way too quickly, looking for towels. Towels inside Rachel's bedroom closet. Except towels stayed in the hallway cabinet for years. Everybody knew that. Huge mistake. Then Tyler suddenly appeared behind Jenna wearing sweatpants. And according to Rachel, that image emotionally destroyed her instantly. Because Tyler looked nervous too. Not confused, not surprised, nervous. Then Rachel noticed something even worse. Their bedroom door remained partially closed behind them. And honestly, nobody closes bedroom doors for towel searches. The atmosphere became suffocating immediately. Rachel later admitted she wanted screaming desperately in that moment, but instead, her body went cold. Very cold. Then Tyler walked toward her, sounding casual. Jenna spilled coffee earlier. She was helping clean up. Interesting, because Jenna already said towels. Now suddenly coffee cleanup appeared too. Two separate explanations within 30 seconds. Absolute disaster. Rachel noticed that instantly, and according to her, that was the exact second certainty arrived emotionally. Not suspicion, not paranoia, certainty. Still, she did not explode yet, because deep down, Rachel wanted undeniable proof before detonating her entire life publicly. So instead, she nodded slowly before ending exhaustion, then said something brilliant honestly. I think I'm getting sick. I'm gonna sleep early. And according to Rachel, the relief on both their faces looked horrifying. Actual relief, meaning they truly believed she still trusted them somehow. Then Rachel quietly locked herself inside the bathroom afterward and cried so hard she almost threw up because honestly, your best friend and fiancé betraying you simultaneously feels psychologically unreal. Like grief mixed with humiliation, mixed with disbelief. Then came the moment everything fully collapsed. While Tyler showered later that night, Rachel borrowed his tablet pretending hers needed charging. Now apparently Tyler forgot syncing settings, connected all messages automatically. Huge mistake, massive mistake. Because less than 5 minutes later, a notification popped onto the screen from Jenna and the message simply said, "That was way too close earlier." Boom. Rachel opened the conversation immediately. And honestly, what she discovered afterward made the affair look even uglier than she imagined possible. Rachel said opening those messages felt like stepping into another reality entirely. Because suddenly every weird feeling, every uncomfortable moment, every tiny lie connected together perfectly. And honestly, the truth looked uglier than she imagined. The affair had been happening for months, not weeks. Months. Before Jenna even moved into the apartment permanently. Huge detail, massive detail. Apparently, it started during wedding planning somehow. Late night texting turned into secret lunches, then hotel meetups during Rachel's work trips. Then, eventually, full physical cheating once Jenna moved into the apartment inside Rachel's home. inside Rachel's life. And according to Rachel, the messages themselves hurt even more than the cheating initially, because these two were not conflicted, not guilty, not confused emotionally. They were enjoying the deception together. That part destroyed her psychologically. Then came the messages that genuinely made my stomach turn. Jenna wrote, "She trusts us so much it's actually scary. Oh my god." Then Tyler responded, "She never notices anything anyway. Absolute cruelty. Not passion. Cruelty." Then Rachel kept scrolling. And honestly, the timeline became horrifying. There were messages sent Inuits after Rachel kissed Tyler goodbye for work. Messages while Jenna comforted Rachel about wedding stress. Even flirty texts during family dinners. At one point, Jenna literally texted Tyler, "Can't believe she wants me as maid of honor, laugh out loud." Sirens would start going off in my brain, honestly. Then came the most disgusting message of all. Jenna wrote, "She practically handed you to me by letting me move in." Boom! Rachel said reading that sentence physically changed something inside her, because suddenly the betrayal stopped feeling emotional. Now it felt predatory, calculated, like her kindness became entertainment for them somehow. Then Tyler responded with, "I know, this whole thing got too easy." Too easy. Actual villain dialogue, honestly. Rachel later admitted she stopped crying after that point. Now she just felt cold, very cold. Because once people mock your trust together, something emotionally snaps permanently. Then came another horrifying discovery. Apparently, Tyler and Jenna already discussed future plans privately. Trips together, apartment ideas, even vague conversations about what happens after the wedding eventually, meaning these two potentially planned continuing the affair even after marriage. Absolutely evil behavior. Then Rachel found hotel receipts inside the messages, photos, videos, everything. Enough evidence destroying every possible denial forever. And honestly, that clarity helped her emotionally in one strange way. No confusion remained anymore. No, maybe I misunderstood. No, perhaps this was emotional cheating only. Number. Full betrayal existed clearly in black and white. Then Rachel did something incredibly smart. Instead of confronting them immediately through rage, she forwarded everything quietly. Screenshots to herself, audio recordings, cloud backups, all secured safely. Because manipulative people rewrite history once exposed, evidence matters enormously. Then Rachel noticed something else interesting. Neither Tyler nor Jenna expected consequences at all. The messages sounded unbelievably comfortable, confident, like they assumed Rachel would never discover anything. And honestly, that arrogance became the exact reason their downfall later looked so brutal publicly. Because trust me, Rachel was no longer planning a private breakup conversation. Not after those messages. Now she wanted exposure. Real exposure. Once Rachel finished reading the messages, she stopped viewing Tyler and Jenna as confused people emotionally. Now, she saw them as performers. People acting inside her life while secretly laughing behind the scenes. And honestly, that shift changed everything, because heartbreak still existed obviously. But underneath it, rage. Cold controlled rage. Then Rachel made another smart decision immediately. She stayed silent. Completely silent. No dramatic confrontation. No crying breakdown. Nothing. Instead, she returned Tyler's tablet exactly where she found it before he finished showering. And according to Rachel, pretending normal afterward felt terrifying, because now every touch felt fake, every smile looked rehearsed. Meanwhile, Tyler kissed her forehead later that night while secretly texting Jenna from the bathroom 10 minutes afterward. Actual psychopath behavior, honestly. Then Rachel started planning carefully, very carefully. First, she checked apartment paperwork. Important detail, because thankfully, the lease existed only under Rachel's name. Huge advantage. Massive advantage. Tyler contributed for financially sure, but legally, the apartment belonged to Rachel entirely, meaning she controlled access. Then she quietly contacted wedding vendors privately over the next 2 days. Photographer, venue, caterers, everything. And honestly, making those cancellation calls sounded emotionally brutal. Especially because several vendors already knew Rachel and Tyler personally after months of planning. At one point, the florist apparently asked softly, "Are you okay?" And Rachel nearly started crying right there on the phone, but she stayed focused. Because revenge first, breakdown later. Then she began organizing evidence beautifully. Folders, printed screenshots, audio clips, hotel confirmations. even timeline summaries, prepared Queen honestly. And the deeper Rachel dug into their messages, the worse the situation became somehow. Apparently, Jenna complained constantly about living in the apartment while simultaneously enjoying the affair. She mocked Rachel's routines, her work stress, even little insecurities Rachel confided privately as a friend. That part genuinely disgusted me, because cheating already destroys trust, but weaponizing personal vulnerability, illity afterward feels sociopathic emotionally. Then came another message that completely shattered Rachel. Tyler wrote, "She's so busy planning the wedding she barely notices us. Oh my god." Imagine planning centerpieces while your fiancé secretly texts your best friend about how easy deception feels. Absolute nightmare fuel, honestly. Then Rachel discovered the affair continued even during family gatherings. At one point, Tyler snuck away from Rachel's cousin's birthday dinner to meet Jenna secretly outside for 20 minutes. The messages joked about almost getting caught. These people genuinely treated betrayal like entertainment. Then Rachel finalized her revenge plan completely, and honestly, it was beautifully ruthless. She decided exposure needed witnesses. A lot of witnesses. No private arguments afterward, no fake narratives, no "we fell in love accidentally" speeches, just truth publicly detonating all at once. So Rachel waited patiently for the perfect timing, and it arrived faster than expected. Because Tyler planned a small pre-bachelor weekend gathering at the apartment Friday night, friends coming over, drinks, music, multiple mutual people. Present, perfect, absolutely perfect. Meanwhile, Jenna planned girls' night later afterward, meaning both traitors would already be inside the apartment together surrounded by witnesses. And honestly, Rachel smiled for the first time in days hearing those plans. Friday finally arrived, and according to Rachel, the entire day felt surreal emotionally, because she already knew her engagement would end publicly within hours. Meanwhile, Tyler walked around the apartment completely relaxed, laughing, ordering alcohol, talking about wedding plans casually like he was not secretly sleeping with Rachel's best friend. That level of compartmentalization honestly terrifies me. Then Jenna spent nearly 2 hours getting ready in the bathroom, hair curled, makeup perfect, tiny black dress again for girls' night. Sure, and honestly, watching both of them perform innocence made Rachel weirdly calmer somehow, because now she understood clearly. These people did not deserve gentle closure emotionally. They deserved consequences. Then guests started arriving around 7. Tyler's college friends, 2 co-workers, one mutual couple Rachel knew well, even Rachel's cousin, stopped by briefly before heading elsewhere later. Perfect audience, honestly. Now here is where Rachel's revenge becomes incredible. She acted completely normal initially, smiling, passing drinks, making conversation, meanwhile secretly waiting for the exact right moment. And according to her, the moment arrived when Tyler casually wrapped his arm around Rachel in front of everyone while Jenna watched from the couch. That fake affection nearly made Rachel physically laugh, so she stood up calmly, walked toward the television, and connected her phone directly onto the screen. At first, nobody reacted much. People assumed music or party photos, probably. Then the screenshots appeared. Boom! Absolute silence instantly. Tyler and Jenna's messages filled the screen one after another. Hotel confirmations, flirty texts, heart emojis, the "she never notices anything" message. And according to Rachel, the room atmosphere changed so fast it almost felt violent physically. Tyler looked confused first, then pale. Meanwhile, Jenna literally dropped her wine glass onto the floor. Actual movie-level panic. Rachel still said nothing initially, not one word. She simply kept scrolling slowly through screenshots while everybody stared in complete shock. Then came the audio recording. Oh my god. The audio recording destroyed them completely. Rachel pressed play calmly, and suddenly Tyler's whispering voice echoed through the apartment speakers, followed by obvious kissing sounds from Jenna's bedroom. Inside Rachel's apartment, while Rachel supposedly slept down the hallway, several people gasped out loud immediately. One girl literally covered her mouth in horror. Then Tyler finally snapped into panic mode. Rachel, wait, too late, honestly. Way too late. Rachel interrupted immediately. No, sit down. And according to witnesses later, her voice sounded terrifyingly calm. Then she pointed toward the apartment entrance, where every single belonging to Tyler and Jenna sat piled together publicly. Suitcases, trash bags, shoes, jackets, even Tyler's gaming console apparently. Prepared queen behavior honestly. Then Rachel finally spoke fully. You both have 10 minutes to get out of my apartment. Absolute silence afterward, because everybody understood instantly this relationship died permanently. Then Jenna started, crying immediately, huge dramatic tears, claiming she never meant hurting Rachel. Interesting statement from someone sending mockery texts for months. Meanwhile, Tyler attempted emotional damage control instantly, blaming stress, claiming confusion, saying things just spiraled. Sir, you booked hotels. Nothing accidentally spirals into hotel reservations emotionally. The apartment completely exploded into chaos after that. People talking over each other everywhere. Some guests looked furious, others looked deeply uncomfortable, wanting escape immediately. Meanwhile, Tyler kept trying approaching Rachel physically. Huge mistake, because Rachel backed away instantly. And honestly, that moment mattered emotionally, because once trust dies completely, even standing near someone feels wrong suddenly. Then Jenna started begging. Actual begging, claiming she didn't want losing Rachel forever. Excuse me, you secretly slept with her fiancé for months inside her own apartment. That friendship already died long ago emotionally. Rachel later admitted hearing Jenna cry felt strangely empty. Not satisfying, just distant, because betrayal at that level kills attachment fast. Then Tyler attempted another manipulator classic. Privacy, of course. He suddenly demanded discussing things without an audience. Interesting request from someone conducting an affair publicly behind Rachel's back for months. But honestly, Rachel planned perfectly already. Exposure was the entire point. No private rewriting afterward. No twisted narratives later. Everybody would see the truth directly. Then came another brutal moment. Rachel's cousin quietly picked up one printed screenshot from the coffee table, read it silently, then looked directly at Jenna. You called her pathetic for trusting you. Boom! Because yes, Rachel printed physical screenshots too, prepared Queen honestly. And according to Rachel, that sentence visibly broke something inside Jenna finally, because suddenly the cruelty became undeniable publicly. Not romance, not confusion, cruelty. Then Tyler's own best friend stepped forward looking disgusted. And honestly, what he said probably hurt Tyler more than screaming ever could. Bro, you cheated on your fiancée with her best friend living in her apartment. That's genuinely evil. Exactly. No softer word, honestly. Evil. Then people started leaving awkwardly one by one, but not before several absolutely destroyed Tyler verbally. One coworker literally muttered, "This is why nobody trusts anybody anymore." And honestly, fair point. Then came the engagement ring moment. Oh my god. Rachel calmly moved her ring finger slowly, walked toward Tyler, and dropped the engagement ring directly into the pile of his belongings near the apartment entrance. No dramatic speech, no crying, just silence. And according to everyone there, that moment emotionally crushed him harder than yelling ever could. Because suddenly reality became undeniable. Wedding gone, relationship gone, reputation gone. Then Jenna tried one final pathetic move. She claimed Rachel never emotionally understood Tyler. Interesting strategy while standing beside 6 months of betrayal evidence. Rachel honestly laughed hearing that. Actual laughter. Then she answered with one sentence that absolutely buried both of them permanently. No, I understood both of you perfectly. That's why you're leaving. Done. Finished. Then Rachel opened the apartment door wide and waited silently. Honestly terrifying energy. Neither Tyler nor Jenna argued much after that, probably because too many witnesses existed already, too much proof, too much humiliation. So they grabbed belongings quietly while avoiding eye contact with almost everyone. And according to Rachel, watching them drag trash bags down street, airs together looked weirdly pathetic, like two raccoons caught stealing emotionally. Then the apartment door finally closed behind them. Silence, complete silence. And honestly, Rachel expected relief immediately afterward. Instead, she burst into tears so hard she almost collapsed onto the kitchen floor. Rachel said the crying afterward felt physically violent, not movie crying, real heartbreak, the kind where your chest hurts and breathing feels strange. Because no matter how justified exposure feels, losing two important people simultaneously still destroys something inside you emotionally. Then came the cleanup. And honestly, that part sounded weirdly heartbreaking too. Half-empty wine glasses everywhere, broken glass from Jenna dropping her drink, printed screenshots scattered across the coffee table. Meanwhile, wedding invitations still sat stacked near the kitchen counter. That image really stayed with me because betrayal leaves emotional wreckage everywhere physically. Then, Rachel's cousin quietly stayed behind helping clean the apartment afterward. Good cousin, honestly. And according to Rachel, that support mattered enormously because after public humiliation scenes end, victims still have to survive the silence afterward. Then the phone call started the next morning. Oh my god, the phone calls. Apparently, half the people from Friday night already told others what happened. And honestly, Rachel stopped caring about secrecy completely at that point because silence only protects cheaters usually, not victims. Then Tyler began texting nonstop from random numbers after Rachel blocked him everywhere. Classic panic behavior. Long, emotional paragraphs. Apologies, claims he made horrible mistakes. Interesting how months of cheating suddenly become mistakes afterwards somehow. Rachel ignored everything. Completely. Then Jenna attempted something even worse. She emailed Rachel a 6-page letter. 6 pages. And according to Rachel, the entire thing basically blamed loneliness and emotional vulnerability. Again, interesting, because apparently loneliness now automatically causes betrayal. Then came the sentence that genuinely made Rachel laugh from disbelief. Jenna wrote, I never meant for this to happen, ma'am. Hotel reservations require planning. Affairs do not accidentally assemble themselves emotionally. Then Rachel discovered another horrifying detail while cancelling honeymoon plans. Apparently, Tyler secretly changed one travel reservation contact months earlier to Jenna's email address. Oh my god. Meaning these two possibly discussed future trips together while Rachel still planned wedding centerpieces. Absolutely evil behavior, honestly. Then came the social fallout. And honestly, public opinion destroyed Tyler and Jenna almost immediately, especially because Rachel already possessed undeniable proof. No rumor twisting possible. People saw screenshots directly, saw dates, saw mockery messages, saw hotel receipts, and according to mutual friends, most relationships around Tyler and Jenna collapsed fast afterward because trust matters socially too. If somebody betrays their fiancé and best friend simultaneously, people start questioning everything else about them. Then Rachel's mother arrived unexpectedly one evening carrying groceries and wine. And honestly, that part made me emotional. Because heartbreak becomes survivable once good people surround you again. Rachel finally cried properly that night. The ugly, exhausted crying where betrayal slowly leaves your body. And her mother said something really important. You didn't lose your people. You discovered they never were your people. Wow, that line stayed with me honestly. Because exposure feels like loss initially, but really, it is clarity, painful clarity. Then came the final disgusting discovery. One mutual acquaintance quietly informed Rachel that Tyler and Jenna apparently started officially dating almost immediately afterward. No shame whatsoever, and honestly, that information hurt for maybe 5 minutes emotionally. Then Rachel realized something important. Relationships built through betrayal usually inherit distrust permanently. At first, Rachel obsessed over Tyler and Jenna constantly, which honestly felt normal. Your brain keeps searching betrayal for logic emotionally. You replay conversations, look for warning signs, wonder how long everybody laughed behind your back. That phase hurts badly, especially because memories become contaminated afterward. Happy moments stop feeling trustworthy. Then Rachel started noticing something strange though. The apartment itself felt lighter without them, quieter. Red tension anymore. No weird glances across rooms, no paranoia. And honestly, that realization helped healing begin slowly. Because toxic people drain environments emotionally even before exposure happens. Then, Rachel began redecorating the apartment completely. New couch, different bedroom setup, fresh paint. She even replaced the dining table because too many awful memories attached there. Honestly, post-breakup redecorating feels spiritually necessary sometimes. Your environment absorbs emotional history deeply. Then came the funniest karmic detail imaginable. About 3 months later, one of Tyler's old friends reached out privately. Apparently, Tyler and Jenna already fought constantly, shocking absolutely nobody. And according to him, trust issues destroyed them almost immediately. Interesting. Who could possibly predict two cheaters struggling with honesty emotionally? Then Rachel learned something even better. Jenna became obsessed with Tyler, texting other women constantly, checking phones, questioning late work nights, spiraling over tiny things. Again, because relationships born through betrayal usually inherit paranoia permanently. Why? Then came the sentence that healed Rachel spiritually. According to mutual friends, Tyler once complained, "She doesn't trust me at all anymore." Sir, you cheated on your fiancée with her best friend inside shared housing. Why would trust exist anywhere near you emotionally? Honestly, incredible behavior. Meanwhile, Rachel's own life slowly improved. Not magically, obviously. Breakups still hurt, but peaceful hurt feels different than manipulated hurt. She slept better, laughed easier. Even co-workers noticed she looked lighter emotionally after a while. That detail matters, because betrayal stress affects people physically too. Then Rachel started therapy eventually. Very smart decision, honestly. And according to her, the therapist said something that changed everything mentally. People capable of betraying you together are not competing with your worth. They are revealing their character. Boom, perfectly said. Because betrayal victims often compare themselves unfairly afterward. Am I boring? Not attractive enough? Too trusting? Meanwhile, cheating mostly reflects selfishness and entitlement inside the cheaters themselves. Then came one final pathetic moment. Nearly 6 months later, Tyler showed up outside Rachel's apartment unexpectedly. Actual movie-level desperation behavior. And according to Rachel, this man genuinely looked miserable. Apparently, Jenna moved out after another cheating accusation fight. Again, shocking nobody. Tyler tried apologizing repeatedly, claimed losing Rachel destroyed his life. Interesting, because he seemed perfectly comfortable risking her emotional destruction during the affair. Then he asked the stupidest question imaginable. Do you think someday we could start over? Absolutely unbelievable, honestly. Rachel later admitted younger her might have cried hearing that. Current Rachel, not even slightly tempted. Instead, she answered calmly, "The best thing you ever did for me was betray me before the wedding instead of after." Honestly? That line deserves framing permanently. Then she closed the apartment door directly in his face. Now, honestly, most people think the story ended there. Cheaters exposed, relationship over, everybody moves on. But according to Rachel, the emotional aftermath lasted way longer than the actual relationship collapse. Because betrayal changes, how do you see yourself temporarily? That part rarely gets discussed enough. For months, Rachel struggled trusting simple things emotionally. Compliments felt suspicious, kindness felt strategic. Even harmless interactions between friends triggered anxiety sometimes. And honestly, that reaction makes sense after deception that deep. Because remember, these were not random strangers. This was her fiancé and childhood best friend working together secretly for months inside her own home. That level of betrayal rewires trust temporarily. Then came wedding season. Oh my god. Wedding season sounded brutal emotionally. Apparently, several co-workers and acquaintances got married during the following summer, meaning Rachel constantly encountered bridal showers, engagement photos, happy couples everywhere. And according to her, some days she handled it fine. Other days she cried inside grocery store parking lots randomly. Healing never moves in straight lines, honestly. Then something unexpected happened. Rachel started reconnecting with old friendships she neglected during wedding planning. College friends, co-workers, even cousins she barely spoke with recently. Honestly, that support system changed everything slowly, because toxic relationships isolate people emotionally without them realizing it sometimes. Then one evening during dinner with friends, somebody said something really important. You know what's crazy? Neither Tyler nor Jenna ever looked genuinely happy around you. They looked performative. Performative, interesting word. Rachel later admitted that comment haunted her initially, because once she replayed old memories honestly, she realized something painful. Tyler and Jenna constantly performed perfect roles publicly, perfect fiancé, perfect best friend. Meanwhile, the real emotional intimacy between them happened secretly behind closed doors. That realization hurt, but it also explained a lot. Then came another karmic update. Apparently, Jenna eventually discovered Tyler cheated emotionally with somebody else during their relationship too, shocking absolutely nobody again. And according to mutual acquaintances, the irony destroyed Jenna emotionally, because suddenly she experienced the exact paranoia and betrayal she helped create previously. Then Tyler apparently tried contacting Rachel again months later, through email. This time not romantic, self-pitying, claiming he lost everything. Interesting wording. Because he did not lose everything accidentally. He actively destroyed it himself. Huge difference. Rachel ignored the email completely. And honestly, that silence mattered more than anger eventually. Because once healing starts properly, revenge becomes less important than peace. Then Rachel made one final decision that honestly felt beautiful symbolically. She took the money originally saved for the honeymoon and instead booked a solo trip through Italy for herself. No wedding, no couple photos, no emotional performances, just freedom. And according to Rachel, sitting alone near the Amalfi Coast drinking wine without checking anybody's lies felt like the first real breath she took in months. Honestly, good for her. Then she ended her final update with one sentence that genuinely hit me hard emotionally. She wrote, "I thought losing them ruined my future. Really, it rescued me from marrying the wrong people emotionally and legally." Wow, that line stayed with me honestly. Now, personally, this story made me furious. Not only because cheating destination, Roy's relationships obviously, but because Rachel's kindness became the exact thing these people exploited. That part really bothers me emotionally. She opened her home, shared her money, protected someone she loved. Meanwhile, Tyler and Jenna turned her trust into entertainment privately. Absolutely disgusting behavior. And honestly, the screenshots changed everything. Without proof, cheaters rewrite history constantly. They call people paranoid, jealous, controlling, but receipts destroy manipulation beautifully. Now the internet absolutely exploded over Rachel's revenge. Top comments said, "She let her struggling best friend stay temporarily and accidentally hosted an affair Airbnb. Honestly, brutal." Another commenter wrote, "The engagement ring drop into the luggage pile deserves cinematic awards." Completely agree. That visual alone feels emotionally devastating. Then somebody shared a story that genuinely hurt me. "My ex cheated with my roommate and they both acted shocked when I kicked them out immediately." See? That right there explains why people reacted so strongly. Betrayal inside shared living spaces feels especially violating. Because homes would feel emotionally safe. Then came one comment that perfectly captured Tyler and Jenna's psychology. This person wrote, "They didn't just cheat, they enjoyed fooling her together." Exactly. That is what makes the mockery messages feel so ugly emotionally. The deception became bonding entertainment for them somehow. Then another commenter said, "The second someone laughs at your trust behind your back, they stop deserving private closure." Honestly, that line hit hard. Because Rachel exposing everything publicly prevented both of them rewriting reality afterward. No, it just happened. No, we fell in love accidentally. Number. Months of deception existed clearly in black and white. Then came my favorite comment easily. Someone wrote, "Rachel lost two parasites and gained peace, self-respect, and an apartment without emotional raccoons." Beautiful summary, honestly, especially the emotional raccoon part. Then another person made a really important point. They wrote, "The craziest thing is Tyler and Jenna probably thought they were soulmates because sneaking around creates fake emotional intensity." Interesting, honestly, and probably true. Affairs often confuse adrenaline with compatibility. Secretive behavior feels exciting temporarily until real life replaces fantasy. Then suddenly trust issues and guilt poison everything, which honestly explains why Tyler and Jenna imploded so fast afterward. Then came one final comment that genuinely stayed with me. Somebody wrote, "People who betray loyal partners usually think they're escaping boredom. Really, they're escaping accountability." Wow, that one hit deeply. Because Rachel sounded stable, kind, supportive. Meanwhile, Tyler and Jenna chased excitement built entirely around deception and ego. And honestly, that kind of relationship rarely survives ordinary reality afterward. Now, if there is one thing I hope everybody remembers from today's emotional disaster collection, it is this: pay attention to discomfort. Not every weird feeling means insecurity. Sometimes your instincts notice patterns before your conscious mind fully catches up. And honestly, boundaries matter too. People who repeatedly disrespect trust do not deserve unlimited access to your life simply because history exists. Trust actions, not memories. And honestly, there is another part of the story through that really stuck with me: the humiliation factor. Because cheating already hurts enough privately. But Tyler and Jenna turned deception into shared entertainment. That changes things emotionally. Those messages were not just romantic, they were mocking, cruel. At one point, Rachel later admitted she stopped rereading the screenshots because the insults hurt worse than the actual affair. And honestly, I understand that completely. Because once people start bonding through disrespecting you together, the relationship becomes emotionally rotten at the core. Then the internet found another detail especially horrifying. Remember how Jenna stayed in Rachel's apartment rent-free temporarily? Yeah. Apparently, Rachel later calculated how much money she spent supporting Jenna during those months. Groceries, utilities, transportation help, even helping cover small bills occasionally. Thousands of dollars. And meanwhile, Jenna secretly texted Tyler jokes about Rachel being too nice for her own good. Absolutely unbelievable, honestly. Then one commenter wrote something brutally accurate. She didn't lose a fiancé and best friend. She lost two users. Exactly. That framing G matters emotionally, because victims often grieve fake versions of people that never actually existed. Then somebody shared a story that genuinely made me sad. My best friend cheated with my boyfriend years ago. The cheating hurt, but the laughter afterward destroyed me. See, that is the part people underestimate. Humiliation creates trauma differently than heartbreak alone. Then came another comment that perfectly captured Rachel's revenge strategy. This person wrote, "She didn't scream, she documented." Honestly, beautifully said. Because rage feels satisfying temporarily, evidence lasts forever. And Rachel exposing everything calmly in front of witnesses prevented months of manipulation afterward. No twisting narratives, no fake victimhood, just consequences. Then another commenter pointed out something interesting. They wrote, Tyler only wanted Rachel back after Jenna stopped feeling exciting and reality returned. Absolutely. Affairs survive fantasy environments easily. Bills, trust issues, and normal life usually kill them fast. Then came my favorite comment easily. Someone wrote, Rachel redecorating the apartment after they left healed me spur. Itchily somehow. Honestly? Same. Because reclaiming spaces after betrayal matters emotionally. Your environment should stop feeling haunted eventually. And honestly, Rachel handled that part beautifully. New furniture, new routines, new memories. That is healing, not pretending nothing happened. Then came one final update years later that honestly made me smile. Apparently, Rachel eventually met someone new completely by accident during a work conference. Not dramatic movie romance, just calm, healthy, peaceful. And according to her, the weirdest adjustment emotionally was realizing trustworthy people actually exist. That part hit me hard, honestly. Because betrayal can trick victims into believing everyone secretly lies eventually. But thankfully, that is not true. Good people still exist. Real loyalty still exists. And trust me, Rachel learned that eventually too. Honestly, that final update gave me emotional relief after all this chaos. Because sometimes revenge stories accidentally stop at exposure. But the real victory usually happens later, quietly, once peace returns. And according to Rachel, peace felt strange initially, almost suspicious, because toxic relationships train people expecting hidden betrayal constantly. Then the internet absolutely loved one specific detail from this story. The ring drop. Oh my god. People obsessed over the ring drop. Top comment said. She ended an engagement with less drama than canceling a Netflix subscription. Honestly, iconic behavior. Another commenter wrote. The calm women are always the scariest because by the time they stop yelling emotionally, they already accepted losing you. Oof, that line felt devastatingly accurate. Then somebody shared a story that genuinely shocked me. My ex cheated with my friend and expected us all to remain in the same friend group afterward. Absolutely insane behavior, honestly. And weirdly, that connects perfectly to Tyler and Jenna too, because cheaters often imagine consequences emotionally smaller than reality. They think people will eventually understand. Number, trust permanently changes afterward. Then came another comment that perfectly captured why Rachel's revenge worked so well. This person wrote, she exposed them publicly before they could coordinate lies privately. Exactly. Timing mattered enormously. See, manipulative people rewrite narratives fast once they gain preparation time. Rachel removed that option completely. Then another commenter said, the affair probably felt exciting because Rachel handled all the stability in their lives. Interesting point, honestly, and probably true. Rachel paid bills, maintained the apartment, planned the wedding, provided emotional support. Meanwhile, Tyler and Jenna played fantasy relationship games secretly without responsibility. Then reality arrived afterward, and surprise, surprise, reality apparently sucked for them. Then came my favorite comment easily, someone wrote. Two selfish people betrayed the only loyal person in the room and still somehow lost everything. Beautiful summary, honestly, because Rachel eventually gained something important through all this pain. Clarity, painful clarity. That matters more than fake relationships surviving longer artificially. Now, if there is one thing I hope people remember from today's emotional disaster collection, it is this. Trust should feel peaceful, not confusing, not constantly anxiety producing. And if your instincts repeatedly scream something feels wrong, pay attention. You do not need proof immediately to respect your own discomfort emotionally. Then, another important thing. History alone does not entitle people to permanent access to your life. Not friendships, not relationships, not family. Loyalty matters, respect matters. And once somebody repeatedly humiliates or manipulates you secretly, protecting your peace becomes more important than protecting their image. Anyway, guys, that officially wraps today's Betrayal Nightmare collection. Thank you so much for watching. And seriously, if you made it this far, you are officially part of the Emotional Recovery Committee now. Hit that subscribe button. Save this video for later and tell me in the comments who was worse, Tyler the cheating fiancé, Jenna the backstabbing best friend, or Diane with the wedding cake nightmare. Honestly, the "she practically handed you to me" message still makes me feel physically angry. Take care of yourselves, guys. Seriously. Protect your peace, protect your instincts, and maybe protect your apartment keys too, honestly. Because today's story really proves something important. The people closest to you can either become your safest place emotionally or your deepest betrayal. And the difference usually reveals itself through patterns long before the final explosion happens. Rachel ignored discomfort initially because she loved both of them deeply, which honestly makes sense. Most loyal people do not immediately suspect cheating. They assume honesty because they personally operate honestly. That is why manipulators often target trusting people specifically. Trust becomes easier exploiting than earning, but honestly, Rachel handled the ending perfectly. Not because she exposed them publicly, not because she embarrassed them, because she refused letting betrayal turn into self-destruction afterward. That part matters most. She rebuilt, protected herself, created peace again, and eventually learned something incredibly important. Being betrayed does not mean you were foolish for loving people sincerely. It means they failed a trust they never deserved. Huge difference emotionally. Then came one final internet comment that honestly felt like the perfect ending for this story. Somebody wrote, Rachel gave Jenna shelter, gave Tyler loyalty, and both of them still chose selfishness. Sections. That says everything about them and nothing about her. Beautifully said, because betrayal reflects character, not worth. Always remember that. And honestly, I think that is the real reason these stories hit so hard emotionally. Everybody watching has trusted somebody before. Everybody knows the vulnerable feeling of believing people genuinely care about you, which is why seeing manipulation exposed feels both painful and weirdly satisfying simultaneously. Anyway, guys, that officially wraps today's story. Thank you so much for hanging out with me through all this chaos. And seriously, if you made it this far, you survived one of the messiest apartment situations emotionally imaginable. Hit that subscribe button. Save this video for later, and tell me in the comments, what was the biggest red flag? The blanket on the couch? The secret messages? Or Jenna wearing Rachel's robe around the apartment? Honestly, the "you're acting paranoid lately" line still makes my blood boil, because manipulative people love weaponizing self-doubt once the truth gets close. Take care of yourselves. Trust actions more than words. And I will see you guys in the north.